We want to talk about Microsoft at E3. What we're going to do is, as we go along these weeks, we'll do a different company at E3 on the road to E3, since it's getting a little, getting E3 season soon. How far are we out now? 6 weeks?
Yeah.
6 weeks. 6 weeks. We're getting close. I'm hoping it's better than last year because, well, last year was a mess, obviously, when it came to any of this stuff. So just a much more concise flow of information in like 4 or 5 days. And we see a lot of these companies apparently come back together in a stream. There were talks, I think, that maybe they'd even try to do something really small in like not a convention center, I guess, or like a meeting hall or something. And I don't know how they're going to do this, but majority of it will be streaming. And I figure we would talk about Microsoft tonight for a little bit, because I think Microsoft has the most pressure on them out of the 3 companies, that being Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. Sony won't be there, but they'll still do their own thing. But Nintendo's just kind of rolling along, and Microsoft hasn't released a first-party game since... What was the last first-party game that Microsoft released? Was it Battletoads?
Yeah, maybe.
No, Gears Tactics.
Gears Tactics on
Flight Simulator? Wasn't Flight Simulator after Gears Tactics?
When did Gears Tactics come out on PC? Because that's the one I'm counting. That's the first time it came out on PC. When was that? That was around the time. Is that around the time of the Xbox coming out?
April
Xbox
28th.
Series X?
It's April 28th, 2020.
Okay. So it came out on the Xbox around the time of the Series X. So if we go, no, it must have been Flight Simulator then. OJ, I think, is right.
Yeah, I think it's Flight Simulator.
Yeah. So it's been a long time, and it's very likely going to be over a year that they just don't release anything.
August 17th for Flight Sim. So
it's possible.
Been a hot minute.
Depends on when either Psychonauts 2 comes out or when Halo Infinite comes out, because it's going to probably be one of those two that brings the next big first party release. So they've gone the entire generation so far, which has been 5 months, without releasing a first party game. Like, they actually launched the system without it. And I guess there's been a lot of Game Pass, which seems to have been a way to tide people over. But now we got to get down to them announcing some games, right, Nate? It's time to get some games going on here. All right. So I think they got to come out here and they got to go big this E3.
Guys, the medium isn't for people. Keep on saying the medium's not first party game.
No, it's Bloober Team.
Yeah, it's Bloober Team, and it's developer. Yeah, so I don't know why people keep on saying medium.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not first party. I'm talking about like from Microsoft. All these studios they bought, someone's got to put something out. This is what I'm saying. Anyone. Yes. The medium is Bloober Team. They got the is it timed exclusivity or full exclusivity? I don't even know about that. That could be timed exclusivity for all we know. So the way I'm looking at it, we gotta see Playground put something out. What's the rumor right now, Nate? You mentioned this. What's the rumor? What do we got from them?
From who?
Playground Games.
Oh, you mean the Forza guys?
Yeah, Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah,
that's the rumor. I thought Forza Motorsport was coming out first, but apparently Horizon 5 is the next thing coming out. And it's in Mexico apparently.
I imagine Forza Horizon 5 will have a fairly big reveal at E3 from Microsoft. The question is really whether or not they're able to get it in for a release this holiday, or if it does kind of slide into an early 2022. I guess, we'll have that answer in 6 weeks. But yeah, Forza Horizon 5, something definitely to look forward to.
On stage this time.
And will it be made of Legos?
It will not be made of Legos.
Well, I don't want to see it then.
That was when it was most exciting. The Legos, they had the Hot Wheels version. That was when it was exciting.
I mean, Forza Horizon is like a guaranteed a guaranteed 90, some odd score.
Yeah, they're always quality games.
Yeah, they're very good. Yeah, they're very, very good. I really liked Horizon 4. It's awesome. It's a good game to have on Game Pass, and then they'll drive.
I preferred 3. I like the Australian setting more. Okay. I think it had a better soundtrack too.
I'm a little disappointed that the rumor is not that they're going to Japan with it. I thought that would have been really cool.
There better be like cartels and shit you got to avoid.
They're going to
keep it real.
So it's going to be in Mexico apparently.
Yes, they're going to Mexico.
So Mexico is going to be the next.
Mexico is a lot of people I know. They're disappointed they're not going to Japan and regions like that. But when you really think of what Mexico can offer in terms of landscape diversity, you got temples, you have rainforests, you have the coast.
Yeah,
you have so many areas that you're going to be racing in. This could really create a very iconic, scene just for the racing spectrum when you're looking at all these environments. And I think it's a good choice for them to go into like Latin America. This is going to be a really engaging environment for us.
Here's the big question: is this game going to be on the VCR?
I would
It has to
imagine
be.
because it is launching this year, or if it does launch this year, that it has probably been developed with the Xbox One in mind.
So then do we think for Horizon 5, which is a game that I would expect not to be developed for the VCR, I expect Motorsport because that's more of a track racer, whereas this would be an open world racing game. I figured the open world racing game would be for the next generation systems, and Motorsport would be on the VCR, but could it be reversed? Could Motorsport be on next gen? Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, I think it would
so
be
strange.
reversed. But if you look at the patch they did for Forza Horizon 4,
Yeah, that's good. But I'm like,
we could probably get better than that with Forza Horizon 5 on the Series X and
but we're
Series
still
S.
going to think about that. You know, it's like the VCR needs to be able to do this whole open world racer too, you know?
I guess it also depends on how they use development resources. Maybe they had a dedicated port team for the Xbox One version and the core team made the Series X version.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see. But that apparently is almost locked in now. I expect that at E3 as being one of the big reveals there.
Do you think we'll get I don't think we'll get any gameplay of Fable, but do you think there's any possibility of like even just a tease to show some of Perfect Dark?
I'm a little concerned that both Perfect Dark and Fable are they won't be shown until next E3. Like
remember,
like I mean, I don't expect them anytime, especially not this year. But I would like just to like be like, hey, we're working on just like a little teaser of the gameplay. I
think they're going to tease different future projects from other studios at E3.
So there's a rumor about IO doing
that will definitely not be at E3.
No, that's way off. Like they just signed the deal.
3 years off from even announcing.
So you're thinking of some other stuff, Nate.
Yeah, stuff that hasn't even been rumored publicly yet. I think that will be stuff that we might see announced at E3, probably in the form of CG trailers. But I think Microsoft really wants to focus this E3 on what they have in the immediate. So you want to come out with your holiday lineup, be it Forza Horizon 5 and Halo Infinite, and maybe they decide to throw Starfield in their presentation and not have Bethesda have it. That type of stuff. They want to show you why the Xbox Series X is going to have that software between June of 2021 and June of 2022, so they can begin to sell this system on those promises of software they showed us last year. Now is the time to show your cards. And Microsoft, probably of all the companies going to E3, I think they're the ones who are most prepared to really detail what they have coming out.
What were you saying, Jordan, with Starfield when that came up?
I was going to say, I think that there's going to be some sort of Bethesda exclusivity announcement, whether that's a game we already know about or something that's, hey, this is only an Xbox game.
I think it's Starfield. I think they're going to do it with Starfield.
That'll be interesting to see how it goes over.
There's also Hellblade 2 has kind of been silent for a while.
Yeah, and maybe it's about time we see that too, like completely gameplay and get a release date on that.
Everwild, what about that game?
We haven't seen anything from Everwild in a while.
I kind of think Everwild's still like, as weird as it sounds, I feel like that game's still not coming out for another 2 years.
Is that Rare game?
Yeah.
That's the game they showed and then immediately came out and said, we don't even know what we have for a concept yet.
It was like, oh no.
I think, we haven't talked about this, maybe a game. I think they're going to really push Game Pass more. I think there's going to be a lot of surprise announcements for Game Pass games. The games that are going to be available everywhere else, but hey, play it first on Game Pass. I think that's going to be a big part of their show.
How about this one? Do they drop Persona 5 on Game Pass at E3?
I mean, yeah, Persona 5 Royal, or the another rumor is Tales of Arise will be Game Pass day one.
That'd be dope.
That'd be pretty cool,
so
actually,
that would be really, really good because that game would sell 15 copies if it wasn't on Game Pass day one on there. So like, I think that'd be like a big thing. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. That's what's going to carry their show along with the Halo Infinite. I think that's going to be like a big thing where they kind of just show Halo Infinite a lot at the show and then supplement it with Game Pass. Dude, games. I don't think we're going to hear a lot about other stuff outside.
Halo Infinite, dude, like that is so much pressure on it to not look terrible at E3.
I think it'll be good.
I think it's fine this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They keep giving us updates. They just gave us one where they showed new screenshots of Halo Infinite. It was the PC build, but you can tell the lighting has improved, the texture work has improved considerably, and I mean, even as of last year, the core game was content complete. So that means they've been spending this last year really working on the engine, optimizing it, improving textures, incorporating ray tracing, everything that was lacking in that gameplay demonstration. So they should be well equipped to really drop an impressive looking game. Yes, we're going to be able to tell the roots are still based in Xbox One architecture. But if they are able to deliver a solid, 60 frames a second, maybe 120 frames for multiplayer, who knows, ray tracing and all of that, I think it's going to still be, it's an impressive looking game. It's not going to wow us in the true sense of a next gen Halo game, but I think they're going to deliver a quality product in the end.
And the multiplayer technically is a next gen Halo game because it's going to last it 10 years, boys. 10 years.
Apparently the multiplayer is going to be free to play, and now that they don't have Xbox Live Gold up, for those free to play games, Halo will just be free. I guess people just download it and play it, like the multiplayer side, and it'll have crossplay with PC. So that actually will be a pretty interesting install size to see there for that game across the board.
Or
is Flight Simulator dated yet?
That's just summer, I think. I think it's just summer.
They could, that could be an E3 shadow drop for Game Pass. I could see that.
It's not a bad idea.
You know what? Oh, you know what they should do if they did Persona 5 Royal? I think they should bring over, because people don't know, like Persona 5 Strikers is not on Xbox. That's
that's a good one to do.
Xbox fans would actually probably like Persona 5 Strikers more than Persona 5 Royal. I mean, like, people like Royal, it's interesting once people first start playing it. It's a turn-based RPG. Obviously, you guys know how some people feel, especially here in the West, about turn-based RPGs. As great as Persona 5 Royal is, many people said, man, I don't even like Warriors games, but it's not really a Warriors game, but I don't even like that style. But Persona 5 Strikers was like super fun. So that's like a really dope action game. So I think maybe if they got like a combination of on Game Pass, if they paid them a nice bag for that, I think that'd be kind of cool.
I'm gonna tell you now, I saw the splits for Near Replicant in the UK between Xbox and PlayStation, and Bandai and Atlas better be taking all the bags they can from Microsoft.
Yeah, that's why I think Bandai Namco's, they're gonna do it. They're gonna take whatever they can. Square Enix has been, so
Square Enix is getting paid for Microsoft quite a bit.
Yeah, so definitely, because Nier's always been a PlayStation type of.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I bought it on. Technically, it's even better on the Xbox, and I got it on the PlayStation anyway, because that's just where I've played Nier.
Microsoft also paid them for Automata as well. Nier, they paid.
Yep, they did a better PC port. Yeah.
So FF7 remake. Maybe they share the announcement on Microsoft stage then.
And you know what? They drop it into Game Pass day one.
No, that won't
be happening. No. Let's hear why
not happening this year.
Interesting. Okay. So they have
that remake will not be announced for Xbox in 2020.
How long is that exclusivity date on that thing?
It's expired.
Interesting.
It's expired, but
expired.
Listen, what are you, a progressive commercial? Is that what all the aunts are?
I don't know.
But no, there's a lot of behind the scenes thing with that game. The PC version will be announced this year, but there will not be an Xbox version announced in 2021.
PC version will be announced though. Okay.
That PC version, if they do a good, oh my god, that PC version might be.
That'll be beautiful.
Sick.
Yeah, it'll probably look really good.
When is the new one dropping again? The updated version?
June. Yeah.
Yep.
That's when the DLC comes out with it, is right?
Yes.
Well, it's interesting. It's actually a PlayStation 5 game.
It's not like they did a bunch of patchwork and updates and stuff to it, so it's just going to ship as a PS5 game, or you can just buy you get a free upgrade if you already have it on the PS4. You'll get that patch.
If you have it digitally.
Yeah, digitally.
If you have it physically, there's no free upgrade. It's really weird how they.
I don't understand this whole thing.
How can I still play the new story?
Yeah, you can't play it on PS4 though. There is no PS4 version of Final Fantasy VII integrated. You've got to play it.
So would you say it would be like kind of what Miles Morales could have been?
No.
Essentially,
really.
If Miles Morales was only available on the PS5 versus the PS4.
I mean, I don't know if this Yuffie content is really going to be anything more than.
How long do you think it's going to be? Like,
you don't think it's going to be substantial?
It should be. The pacing of Final Fantasy remake itself was so weird, where you had chapters that were like 3 hours and other chapters that were nothing.
Really long. Like there were some that were crazy long.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Yuffie content, if we buy it separately, if we just upgrade our PS4 version, it's what, $20?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
If you buy the content. Yep.
Yeah. So
yes, chat to let you guys know, if you have the game physical, there's no way for you to upgrade it on PlayStation 5.
That's only kind of.
You have to have a digital copy of the game.
Glad I bought.
But if you
glad I went for that. Crazy.
It came with a motorcycle, didn't it?
I did get the motorcycle. That is the plus.
I think Microsoft's going to get some third parties involved. I feel like they're just going to have what was that one E3? Was it literally the last one we had? Was that 2018, where they just did like reveal after reveal? 2018. They just kept doing reveal after reveal, and it felt like they showed us a ton of stuff. And then we went back and looked, and it was a lot of announcements. But it wasn't necessarily like a lot of like new first party announcements. It was a lot of like third party stuff they brought in. So I feel like at one point they had like 20 something announcements, and there were like a lot of third party stuff thrown in there. But I think either way, they're going to have a lot of stuff, at least quantity wise, to show off. So, but they got to show us why people bought a Series X from their first party studios at least.
Excuse me. Sorry. Let me, because chat's also, I want to make sure that I say this correctly. Sorry. Digital only PS5 owners. So let's say you have physical PlayStation 4, you bought the digital PS, there's no way to get it on there. So my bad. Because there's a large number of people that have digital only PS5s. So
I see what you're saying. Because you can't put the disc in.
Because you can't put the disc in, and there's no way to migrate the account. My bad. Let me just make sure that I clarify that 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a standard PS5 with the disc, you can put in your PlayStation 4 disc, and you can upgrade the game for free.
Yes.
If you have the digital only one, there's nowhere to put the.
There's no alternate upgrade path.
Oh,
that's what I was. Sorry, my bad, guys. Sorry, chat. That's what I was alluding to, because there was a number of people that have the digital.
Make it so confusing.
I'm sorry, because there was a lot of people that have the digital only PS5. That's a people have that. You know,
why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
Thanks,
tell Square Enix that. Why don't they make it to where that's their fault?
Yeah, some of these companies having a weird time getting their upgrades.
Just tell me if I get the upgrade or not. That's all I'm asking.
You get it.
Do I get it or not?
Jordan,
okay,
you bought the motorcycle.
I put my disc
get an upgrade
in the
with a
PlayStation 5. I get the upgrade. Cool.
Yes.
Thanks.
Oh boy.
But you have to spend $20 to get the UV chapter.
Oh, come on.
They should give it to you, Jordan. You bought the motorcycle.
I bought the motorcycle, man.
I like how this guy in the chat, Prom Max, said, Phil Spencer, this next announcement, wow, is all I can say. Every time I see it, it absolutely blows me away. Proceeds to show a game I forget the name of. Like, it does happen a lot with Phil.
Yeah, well,
he seems to be easily amused.
Here's the last question. Do we have any kind of Nintendo Xbox crossover in their event?
I think there's only one person who would.
No, I don't believe it'll be at E3.
Not at E3. Okay, there you go. Not at E3.
But what about
later on in the year?
But you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
Avowed.
I hope so. I'd like to see that game. Like
we got the cutscene last year.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance we get an update on Avowed this year, because the rumor was, especially last summer, was that the game was further into development than a lot of people had suspected, and it's one of the reasons Microsoft made a move. So we could get some actual gameplay of it. Maybe they even just slap on a generic, summer 2022 release date. So first party wise, I think Microsoft is going to come out a little stronger than what we typically see. And I think they're going to focus a lot more on gameplay than pure CG that they have done in, past years. So
okay, other question. What's Compulsion Games doing?
That is the $1 million question.
That's a good question. I'm curious what they're doing, because they haven't. What they had? We Happy Few.
I have a question for Nate. Hellblade 2. Will we see it?
I think we do. I think it's time to see it. I think we get an early 2022 release date.
It's
on
like
it.
the first game they showed us when they.
It was the first game they showed us, and we know Ninja Theory is also busy with Project Mara, another game we really haven't seen much of. So I think it's a good time for us to get an update on Hellblade 2 for sure. And if they can have that out, let's say next spring, I think that would excite a lot of people.
Think it's that far out? You don't think it'd be like a holiday that they can get it out before the end of the year?
I don't think Hellblade 2 makes this year.
No, they even said that was going to be 2022.
I think it's next spring or maybe later, because remember, it's Unreal Engine 5.
That's the one hesitation for me, is that Unreal 5's only really gone out to some developers, even in like a beta phase as recently as just a couple of months ago. So I'm not sure how smooth the transition has been for them to go from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. So that's my hesitation as to when they could really date this game. I assume development has gone, swimmingly for them, but also, we don't know how COVID has impacted them. And every time they've talked about Hellblade 2, they ran the same trailer behind them while they gave us updates, and that's a little concerning that they haven't given us, any new tease, any new assets. But E3 seems like a good time for us, to get an update on that game. And I think Microsoft, if I were them, I'd be gunning for that. I'd want to show you a brand new trailer or some in-game footage of Hellblade 2, because we saw that in-engine trailer back at the Game Awards. It looked fantastic. Time for an update.
Maybe if Grub was here, we can figure out maybe if Elden Ring would make a surprise appearance. But
I think it's releasing at E3.
It's releasing at E3. Yeah,
that game is still a myth.
There's a lot of
Elden Ring.
about it.
If Elden Ring is to be at E3, I think it would be at Microsoft's show. If it's absent from Microsoft, then Elden Ring will not be at E3.